Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Six former Washington employees make new allegations against Daniel Snyder at U.S. House committee hearing. Um, the six former employees of the now Washington Commanders, they joined leaders of the U.S. House of Representatives Oversight Committee on Thursday for a roundtable discussion about workplace misconduct inside the organization. 7 months after the NFL announced the completion of its own investigation into the franchise, the roundtable unveiled both new allegations, including claim of inappropriate behavior by team owner Daniel Snyder and a renewed commitment to potential legislative solutions focused on holding the NFL and Washington perpetrators of sexual harassment accountable. Hosted by Representative Caroline B. Maloney, Democrat out of New York, and Representative Raja Krishnamurthy, Democrat out of Illinois. The roundtable convened in the Oversight Committee's Washington, D.C. hearing room. The employees on hand included Emily Applegate, former marketing coordinator Brad Barker, former video production manager Melanie Coburn, former cheerleader and director of marketing Rachel Engelson, former director of marketing and client relations Tiffany A. Johnston, a former cheerleader and marketing manager, and Anna Nunez, former coordinator of business development. We launched this investigation because the NFL has not been transparent about the workplace misconduct issues it uncovered within Washington, said Krishnamurthy in a statement that preceded testimony from ex staffers. These victims are bravely coming forward with their stories, sharing details of despicable abuse in their workplace. Our investigation will continue until the perpetrators of sexual harassment are held accountable. CBS Sports obtained the opening statements from all six former staffers. They detailed alleged misconduct. The Oversight Committee's chairman and chairwoman believed the NFL covered up before its investigation into the team. Applegate, who alleged she was harassed on a daily basis by the team's former chief marketing officer, explained that she was told not to speak to Dan Snyder or to even look at Dan Snyder. Amid her concerns about misconduct, Baker, who spent 2 years on the team's video production staff, alleged that he and others were told to edit together lewd footage from the cheerleaders' Beauties on the Beach calendar shoot documentary at the request of Daniel Snyder. Footage in which the cheerleaders' breasts and public areas were exposed. Coburn corroborated Baker's allegation. She said the video was secretly made as essentially a soft porn video, soundtrack to Dan Snyder's favorite bands. Coburn also alleged soon after starting her marketing role, she was invited to sleep at Snyder's home in Aspen, Colorado, after a drunken awards trip dinner, except she was asked to stay in the basement because the men had invited prostitutes back. In 2022, as allegations were surfacing, Coburn said Snyder had private investigators sent to dozens of former cheerleaders' homes. She also alleged she offered money in exchange for public silence about misconduct, as the Washington Post previously reported. Coburn said she was also harassed by a football player, presumably a member of the team in 2005. After informing a human resources staffer, she was allegedly told I'm sorry that this is happening. If it's going to be him or you, it's going to be you. She told committee members in follow up questioning that her goal from sharing the information is natural accountability. Daniel Snyder should not be managing any human beings. Coburn said he needs to be held accountable for his actions. Johnston, who spent 8 years working for the team, alleged she was strategically seated by Snyder at a work dinner so he could put his hand on the middle of my thigh, she said, until I physically removed it. She said this was done purposely and without consent as he touched her in a sexual manner. Johnston also alleged that Snyder aggressively pushed her towards his limo later that night before his attorney intervened, advising him not to engage. A very bad idea. Jason Friedman, Johnston's former boss, said in a letter to Maloney that he witnessed Snyder tried to grab Johnston and pushed her to his limo. That rock started at the top with team owner Daniel Snyder and it trickled down. Krishnamurthy said at the hearing Mr. Snyder claimed that he was unaware of these allegations and was simply hands off as an owner. Unfortunately, nothing could be further from the truth, and NFL Commissioner Mr. Roger Goodell has engaged in troubling behavior as well. Goodell claimed in 2014 to embrace a higher standard for the NFL, but the NFL deep sixed the findings from its own investigations of the Washington football team. The NFL issued a statement regarding Johnston's allegations. The NFL is reviewing and will consider Ms. Johnston's allegations as we would any other new allegations regarding workplace misconduct at the Washington Commanders. We will determine any further action as appropriate. Today's testimony underscores that all employees deserve a workplace that is free from harassment of any kind and where they feel safe reporting misconduct. In response to these allegations, Snyder issued the following statement via his PR representative. I have acknowledged and apologized multiple times in the past for the misconduct which took place at the team and the harm suffered by some of our valued employees. I apologize again today for this conduct and fully support the people who have been victimized and have come forward to tell their stories. In response to learning about incidents like these in 2020, the team on its own undertook to revamp its policies, procedures, and personnel. Real change has been made, and employees of the team have confirmed the vast improvement in team culture over the past 18 months. While past conduct at the team was unacceptable, the allegations leveled against me personally in today's roundtable, many of which are well over 13 years old, are outright lies. I unequivocally deny having participated in any such conduct at any time, and with respect to any person, Tanya and I will not be distracted by those with a contrary agenda from continuing with the positive personnel and cultural changes that have been made at the team over the past 18 months and those that we continue to make both on and off the field. The NFL first launched an investigation into Washington after a July 2020 report by the Post detailed accounts from 15 former female employees alleging sexual harassment by various staffers over the course of 18 years. Snyder initially vowed to conduct his own investigation into the workplace culture before the league took over in the wake of a follow up post report listing Snyder as the overseer of an organization in which women say they have been marginalized, discriminated against, and exploited. A year later, in July 2021, the NFL cited undisclosed findings from independent investigator Beth Wilkinson in fining Washington $10 million for a highly unprofessional work environment. Snyder formally stepped back from his day-to-day duties as team owner, with his wife Tanya taking over as CEO. In October 2021, however, the Oversight Committee, the House of Representatives' main investigative arm, contacted NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to request all documents and findings related to the Washington investigation. This came in the wake of additional reports that leaked discriminatory emails exchanged with former team staffers and led to the resignation of then Raiders coach John Gruden. Attorneys for 40 different former Washington employees called on the NFL to fully disclose the 650,000 plus emails that were examined as part of the investigation, but the NFL declined for confidentiality reasons. Wow. So they're not going to release the emails of John Gruden, because we know why. Because basically, John Gruden, the person he's talking to on the other side of the email, they don't want to get that person exposed. Why is that? This is what I'm talking about. So Daniel Snyder is allowed to treat women and do all these type of things, but he gets no repercussions. They try to push it off, and they bring up emails of John Gruden that is damn near like what, 10 years ago, 11 years ago? He wasn't even with a team then. That's what I don't understand. But yet you guys will bring that up in the NFL. Y'all will bring that BS up, but y'all won't bring up nothing about Washington. You guys were so quick to unveil the name and jerseys of the team amid these allegations. But see, y'all did that on purpose. Y'all knew if y'all would have, y'all knew, see, this is what happened. And this is just, all this is allegedly that I'm speaking and just saying. What the NFL was not prepared for what Brian Flores did. Brian Flores brought this information out. So the NFL had to cover their bases like, okay, look, we got to get Eric Bieniemy to be interviewed. Oh, we got to get this other black coach interviewed. Trying to cover their tracks. Now they put out that John Gruden thing because the Raiders were doing better than they expected. They needed to get the Raiders out of there so the Kansas City Chiefs could come back. And of course, the Chargers, they're too young, and then they have a dumb coach, so they were going to fall off. And the Denver Broncos, their quarterback couldn't stay healthy. If Teddy Bridgewater could have stayed healthy the whole season, or they could have had a solid quarterback, the Broncos would have ran that division. Them and the Raiders. The Chiefs would have been out of it. So they had to throw John Gruden out there to the Wolves after they had to throw him out to the Wolves so they could buy some time for the Washington thing, so they could get everything together. The NFL could get their case together to represent the NFL, to cover their butts, to have their confidentiality agreements out there. They had to do all this stuff because they knew if they just went out there butt naked, they would be in the cold. But this is what they do. NFL is misdirection. They love to keep the fans stupid. That's why the fans, I call fans in the NFL and the NBA, all sports, fan dumb. FANDUMB. Because they fall and succumb to mainstream media lying to them. I don't believe anything mainstream media tells me. Because mainstream media is nothing but multi-ethnical destruction in America. They gotta protect their buddies. Now, this is what I'm saying. If this was a black man, if Daniel Snyder was a black man, oh man, he'd have been already, all of this would have been put out there. They would have enforced it. They would have did everything in their power to cooperate with the House of Representatives and those in court. They would have. Y'all can talk about, oh, you always making it a black. It is a black and white issue. That's the problem. Everything is double standard. And until you, as pink folk, majority of y'all, not some of y'all get it, but the majority of y'all, until y'all wake the hell up, we're going to continue going down this road. Now it's about rich or poor. They don't care. They're throwing race out there, but it don't matter. They're still going to have a double standard. Even though it's about rich and poor, they're still going to have prejudice and racism out there. But I sidetrack. This case here, Washington is getting nailed to the cross. And the thing they did dirty is they put John Gruden business out there. John Gruden, this was 10 years ago, and he wasn't employed by the NFL. He was working for ESPN. So my thing is, why would you dig this up? You guys knew this already. So why did y'all hire him as a coach? Huh? But if this was a black coach like Marvin Lewis or Hugh Jackson or hell, Tony Dungy would have did this, y'all would have nailed them. Y'all would have never even gave them the job. Y'all would have pulled this information out the books. If y'all white buddy if your white buddy didn't get the job and it was a black coach that got it over him or a black GM, y'all gonna talk about this dude stubbing, tripping somebody when he was 6 years old. Y'all gonna pull up all type of crap. But Daniel Snyder doesn't. It's funny how y'all ousted John Gruden and all of this, but you guys didn't oust Daniel Snyder. Now it's coming back to get you. The NFL is still going to be functioning because you know why? The majority of the fans are pink folk and they're idiots. They succumb to what is being thrown in mainstream media and what's being thrown to them by these fake journalists who aren't journalists. They're nothing but entertainment people, entertainment pieces. S-spin, nothing but entertainment. Undisputed and FS1 entertainment. So let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. I think these allegations are strong. It is going to be very difficult for Daniel Snyder to get out of this one because they got stuff going back to the past and they're digging it up. So I don't know who Daniel Snyder, I don't know who he pissed off behind closed doors for all this information now to come out. But I know one thing, if the NFL doesn't cooperate, they're going to open up a lot of dirty secrets from the NFL. And the NFL getting attacked on all sides. From being racial, which they don't care. They're gonna be racist until the end. And that's why all of a sudden they put out in the open, oh, well, we have one black owner being looked at. One black owner, right? Seriously. Stop it. That's like the white guy saying, I love black people. I got a black friend. His name is Steve. knowing damn well Steve is an Oreo. Thank y'all for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you guys love what you hear, go to the description box. Hit that link to my Cash App. You could donate $1. You could donate $1 million. Whatever you're willing to give, man, we accept. Also, you can super chat. My super chat works. You guys can super chat $1, $5, or $10, or $20. Whatever you're willing to give, we accept. Thank you guys for your support for the page. Continue to share it. Continue to support. We're trying to get to 100K. And then after that, we're going to go to 1 million. That's our goal. That's our goal as a page. As everyone. It's all love. We all together in this one. So thank you guys, man, for listening, man. Thank you guys for your support, man. We are out. Deezy.